Trisha, when you first met Jude, did you know she was into David Bowie?
She did tell me. She actually did say that she had a thing about David Bowie. But I mean, at the time, I quite liked David Bowie too.
But how big is this thing about David Bowie?
It's bigger than I thought. I mean, it's much bigger than I thought. It's not. She doesn't just listen to him. Does
she have pictures of him in the house?
The house is covered in pictures. There's about 26. There's some big pictures of him around the house.
And when you met, I believe she had quite an original, I don't know, pick-up, chat-up line. What was that?
I can't remember exactly word for word, but it was something about, "Hi, my name's Jude. I like David Bowie. Will you impregnate me?" I think that's what it was.
I can't believe... Who said ah? Don't point. Who went ah? Mr. Romance here. Okay, and how long after that pick-up line until you got married?
We got married about 24 days later.
Ooh, and you've been together for how long?
For 7 years.
7... Ooh. All these girls in the audience now, they're now going to go out tonight and walk up to guys and say, "Hello, I love David Bowie," or something. "Will you impregnate me?" But the pictures are everywhere. What about the concerts?
Concerts are a big thing for her. I mean, whenever he's touring, she has to go and see him. Absolutely has to.
Has to?
Has to see him. It's not a question of maybe I'll go, maybe I won't go. It's he's playing, I will go and see him.
And what about his music?
The music is another thing altogether.
What, non-stop?
Non-stop. It's a constant drone in the house. Constant. You get back from work, you can hear it.
Do you ever see the time when David Bowie will start causing arguments between you?
He has caused arguments, and I can see...
What sort of things? Give me an example. What would cause an argument?
I mean, an example of him causing an argument. A recent DVD came out. I think I had a bath or something. I came downstairs and found Jude in front of the television crying, and I thought that was a big problem.
Right.
And I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "There's nothing wrong. Isn't he wonderful?" And, you know, for me, it made me feel upset, because I thought, you know, that there was a problem, and there wasn't a problem at all.
So she got the opportunity, I'm not saying that he would, but if she could have a fling or one-night stand, do you think she would?
I think without children, if we didn't have children, I wouldn't be running down to the bookies to put a bet on.
How does that make you feel?
Well, you know, I mean, I think about, I've said to Jude before, you know, "Do you compare me to David Bowie?" She said, "Well, no, I don't compare you, because there's no comparison."
Soppy audience again. Let's meet her. Please welcome Jude.
Hello.
So when you look at that picture there, what do you think?
My heart skips a beat. He's just unbelievably fabulous.
What's the fabulous thing about him?
He's musically, there's nobody like him. I don't care, because he's broken boundaries throughout the years, and the music he produces is so diverse.
But so is Madonna.
Well, that's your opinion, that's not my opinion. She does not float my boat in the same way that he does. And I've met him, and when I met him, he was, you should never meet your idol, but when I met him, he was just fabulous. He was so kind.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was it. That was in October 99. And it was just, I can't tell you.
Did it make it even more intense?
I thought after meeting him, it would sort of settle things down, because it is the ultimate in my mind. But no, it's not changed. It's not changed anything. It's
so
just
when did you first get into him?
When I was about 11, my brother did a couple of tapes, and I just was blown away by the music, and I just thought, yeah, this is fantastic. And then I started collecting vinyl, as it was then, and built up that collection. And
all the pictures in the house.
Yeah, I know.
How do you feel about those pictures being in the house?
Well, you know, one of the pictures that's really off-putting, it's in our living room, and it's one of those funny pictures where the eyes follow you around wherever you're sitting. Which is fine if you're just sitting there, but if you've kind of come through and you're in your dressing gown or whatever, it's off-putting. I don't like it.
No, they're really stylish pictures. They're really nice, because he's quite arty and creative.
But is it a sexual thing?
No, it's beyond that. No. It's not like, you know...
Not a worshipy thing.
It's more of, he's more of an iconic figure. So the whole sexual, would you go off and do this with him? it's beyond that. It's godlike in my mind. He's just up there. He's unobtainable. He's, you know, he is
Now,
the
now
man.
the reason you met him was through, is it through a radio?
From Radio 1, yeah. They basically, they mentioned, Mark Radcliffe mentioned that if you're a Bowie fanatic, you should listen to the programme. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, I've done this before and it's all come out and, you know, I've always been too late. So I thought, I'm going to phone up the show now. And this was a few weeks prior to it. And I phoned the show, I bombarded them with emails
How
and phone
much did you
calls.
spend?
It's about £300 on phone calls. But, you know, it's a small price to pay because the following week I got a phone call from their assistant who said, you know, you're on the show, you're going to be live.
That's a small price, so
Small
is
price
there
for
any
Jude.
price? Sorry?
Small price for Jude.
It's a small, £300 is nothing to
What
me.
would you pay to meet him?
Oh,
Again.
the infinite funds, providing I had them, infinite funds.
What, so you wouldn't sell your house or anything?
No, because obviously, you know, even though I'm obsessed with him, my kids are still priority, so I wouldn't do anything that reckless. But he is a significant other in my life, no question about it. And he
Who
makes...
comes first, though? Honestly, who comes first, Patrick or David Bowie? If he told you to give up David Bowie or him...
No, absolutely no way. I could not never go and see him again or not listen to his music consistently. I just couldn't do it.
So who comes first?
It's a very tough question. He's up there. He's fab. He's up there, but I'm
He's
just,
up there.
No,
She's
but
not far enough.
I'm kind of having
Come
my
on,
cake
who's
and eating
number
it.
one?
Well, he's number one, but David is a significant, and he's always known that. David is a significant other, and he's always known that, and I've never made any pretense of otherwise, so that's, you know.
So if David Bowie turned up and you had the opportunity, I mean, I love him, I mean, she's just a gorgeous woman, but if you had that opportunity in Make-Believe Land to have a one-night stand with David Bowie...
Yeah. Would I?
Yeah.
No.
You wouldn't?
No. Because, again, it's beyond sexual. To my mind, it's not like fancying another man and having a. It's
so how
much,
did you
much
meet?
bigger.
When you met him, what was that like?
To be honest with you, it was a bit of a blur. When he first came out the car, I was with my brother, and I was just completely. I was holding my head, and oh my god! And he walked with his minder towards a group of us, and I remember him just leaning, you know, ever so slightly towards me, and I just was blown away, and I just leant towards him, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm touching David Bowie. But he did ask me if I was on the internet, and I said no. I said, but I can be if you want me to be, on a really smutty way, and he cracked up laughing, and I've got a picture of that. So that
If it's not sexual, why did you say that in a smutty way?
Just to diffuse, you know.
If your husband had the same feelings for someone else, would you be
so
hurt by
Britney
that?
Spears.
No, full marks. I'd have no problem, because I understand what it is to be obsessed. Then I would totally respect his obsession as well. I mean, you know, I don't have to approve of the music, but I would respect.
So is there anybody you're obsessed with, Patrick?
Well, there isn't, but I've thought about this before. I mean, you've seen the body language in the picture that you showed. Just
What do you
like
think
that.
about the body language in the picture?
Well, it's saying something to me. It's actually saying something.
What's it saying?
He's got his hand around her like that, and they're gazing into each other's eyes. You know, if I had a picture of that of me and say, I mean, I don't know, Rachel Stevens or someone like that, you know, I think it would make her feel insecure.
So when you see that picture there, it makes you feel what, a little bit...
When I first saw that picture, I must say, I looked at it and I thought, I can't believe I'm actually looking at this picture.
That's what I thought as well. It was brilliant.
Do your kids love David Bowie?
They appreciate the classics, but they're more into Busted and McFly and...
So how would you feel if in 20 years' time your kids were on a show talking about one day someone from Busted or McFly? We had Busted. We were the first show that Busted did.
Ah, right.
Yeah. How would you feel if they had pictures of themselves gazing into their eyes and...
That would be fine. It's an obsession, but it's not actually damaging to anybody else. So yeah, that's fine.
So if David Bowie's watching this, what would you say to him?
You're just the most exquisite man that ever walked.
No, he's not. It's Cliff.
Huh?
No, he's not. It's Cliff.
I never thought I'd live to see Cliff Richard and David Bowie battling it out. Let's call it a draw and hope nobody's insulted. Thank you very much.